Here we go. Episode 8. It would be Dogface and Joe Mommy. Welcome to it.
Hello.
This will conclude the 3-day series of quickies. Back tomorrow. We will be on normal schedule. We'll go for an hour minimum, and we'll make it up to you, we promise. Again, my son's been visiting, and he has precedent over internet because he has a paying job. Joe and I, we're just doing this for free. We're basically hobos. And I was going to say we're panhandling, but we can't accept money. So it's just like,
No, we can't.
we're just the creepy guys that are out like digging through the ashtray. We're just the ashtray pickers. We're just the cigarette searchers. We're just out going, you got any like budded Marlboro? We're just out there walking around with our shirts off, just picking through the ashtray. We're just ashtray pluckers.
Oh, man, it's sad how quickly that happened to us. It is. It's embarrassing.
Yeah, for 3 months we can accept no money, so we can't even panhandle. But,
so don't send us anything or anything because we don't want to break any rules, dudes. We want to make sure that we can do this when we're done with everything here.
Hobos have a more lucrative career going right now. I mean, the guy in the corner with the sign that'll work for whatever, but won't work, but wants money, he can accept it. We can't.
That's right.
This is episode 8, and this will conclude, I hope, all 3 days. We've started the podcast with Governor Gavin Newsom. On Monday, episode 6, we talked about the plastic bag ban. Yesterday, we talked about they want to put in voice control to limit speed, and not limit it, but to give warnings. So if you're speeding and you can't look at the speedometer because you're an idiot, you'll hear a voice prompt say, "You're going too fast." They want to put that in.
Just what everyone needs in their car right now.
Yeah, this sumbitch of Newsom, man, they say that the pen, far mightier than the sword, he is like a katana-wielding ninja right now with this ballpoint pen, man. He is going for it.
It's ridiculous, dude. Some of the things he's doing right now is just insane.
To this, on Monday, that katana sword with ink in the form of a bic signed more legislation banning smartphone use, and he signed it on Monday, and the legislation makes California the latest state to try to curb student phone access in an effort to minimize distractions in the classroom, curb cheating, and create mental health or lessen mental health impacts on social media for children. And they also say teachers shouldn't have to do their job and police them and try to take phones away or punish kids.
That's ridiculous. Think about how hard that would be, man, to deal with that. I mean, just having
Doing your
one
job?
child and trying to curb their phone usage. I couldn't imagine 32 7 times a day.
It's simple. It's just like when we went to school. If you got caught pulling hair, you got caught chewing gum, got caught looking at whatever, got caught cheating, you would go to the principal's office. If you went up 2 times or 3 times that week, you'd get expelled. It's simple. I don't know why teachers now don't want to enforce rules. It's not the teacher's rule, it's the school rule.
They get beat afterwards. Young women, men, they don't mind. The big kids in the class are bigger than adults nowadays, and they beat them. I wouldn't want to take a beating from a kid. You don't know if you can fight back. You're not sure what you should do. I mean, they punch those ladies in the face.
You absolutely, still constitutionally, you still live in America. You can, if you want to take a katana sword class, which I know is a little imposing, you could try that. You could take a stick. You could take mace. You can protect yourself with self-defense. And again, that's why I say carry pieces. But back to the phone.
Pieces of cell phone.
Yeah. Joe has a young one that is going to be 14 in 2 weeks.
Yeah, October 1st, Digger turns 14.
So this will impact him for a year or more. They're going to sign this into legislation if everything goes right. It should be a law by 2026. Lots of people, though, they say this is crazy. These kids need their phones. What if there's a mass shooting? What if something dangerous happens? What if there's a lockdown? We want connectivity to our children.
I agree with that 100%, especially with all the stuff that's happening in schools right now. And having a kid in school, I want him to be able not to talk to me or be able to call me, but if something dangerous happens, I want access to that boy as quickly as possible.
See, it's so weird. I kind of get where you're coming from, but I've always told Joe this, and Joe hates this, but failure to prepare is preparing for failure. I guarantee test scores have fallen. Kids are distracted. There's more bullying.
Oh, they're on
the phones a bunch. Okay.
Yeah, there is. And it's a problem.
get rid of the phones. That stuff goes away. And then also, I wonder if it would curb some of the school violence, because back when we didn't have cell phones, all we had was that creepy wall phone that the teachers had. They didn't have, one, the problems, and two, we didn't have the distraction or the disruption. We didn't have any connectivity with our parents until we got home. And the school had order. The school had rules. The school took precedent over how they disciplined your child. And I think it needs to go back to that. This whole cell phone thing, get rid of them. You don't need it.
You know what? I am all for the teachers having the right and the upper hand in the schools, but the shootings and the things that were taking place and the threats, dude, I have gotten from our little school here in Rockland, where he goes to school, and anyone's kids that go to school there, we have all gotten about 3 emails this week from fake threats, and there was a fake threat left in the girls' bathroom. I mean, that kind of crap wasn't happening back when we were growing up. I mean, what if someone comes into that school and has a gun? I would think 100% of the parents with kids there would love to be able to know what their kid's doing, and if they could tell them what to do, where to go, I can't
go haywire AWOL on this. I'm going to try to be sensible. I don't agree with kids having phones at school. I never have. But here's the thing. The genie is out of the bottle. And if they were going to curb this or go after this, they should have done it a long time ago. And now to let all this technology and let all this stuff creep up, and then you have all these school shootings or these attacks or these threats, it does make it difficult. But I want people to know this, okay? This isn't Governor Gavin Newsom being a kooky lefty. He's following suit with states like Louisiana.
Oh, yeah.
States like Joe's home state, Indiana. He's doing what DeSantis did last year in Florida. This is actually a pretty strong move from such a democratic person. And he is getting a lot of heat for this, and people are calling him out. But this is a very, very conservative move and measure that he's making. I like it, but it is a little weird to think, with all the crap that goes on nowadays, that you wouldn't have a connection to your child if stuff went down. And I think being a parent, like for you, Joe, or the younger ones even, that would be pretty tough,
I will have a connection if things go down. I don't care if this rule passes. I told you that I'm a rule-following man. I am. I try to follow them as much as I can. I'm not a rule breaker. I don't need to be in any kind of a recluse or an outlaw or an anarchist or any of that nonsense. But everything changed the day I became a daddy. And I will break a rule like that to have some sort of communication with my boy while he's still in school.
Well, and here's where they're going to have trouble with this. And this is where I agree. And because I was talking to my son, I was like, well, what about an Apple Watch? He's like, well, yeah, but you got to have your phone with you. And I'm like, okay, I thought you did.
Nope. No, you don't.
Where can your phone be? I thought it had to be near you to get all the stuff.
No. You can have your service on your watch. Remember, I left my phone at home that day, and I did everything.
Oh, and you can still get text.
Oh, yeah, you can make phone calls. You can do everything.
Okay, then they can't wear those watches. They have to go back to wearing Casio watches with calculators on them, or they have to look at real, analog pieces.
That's what I'll do. I'll buy him a watch and just have him keep it in his backpack.
Well, but here's the simple thing is, when the bell rings, phones go away. End of story.
Yeah, just put them in your packs.
Yeah,
right.
and then you're done. We used to smuggle all kinds of contraband in our pockets, in our backpacks, that we would take to class.
No
and
one
we
doubts
knew
that.
if we broke it out and got caught, we'd get in trouble. We'd pass notes. We knew if we got caught, we'd get in trouble. It's the same shit going on. So just make the kids put it away. And if it comes out, it's a harsh penalty. And what they need to do is sit down on assembly night or back to school night and tell the kids, teachers have a lot more authority than what you're used to, and they're going to start spanking again. They're going to start cussing. And you know what? You might see Miss Jenkins carrying a 9mm with hollow points this new semester.
Get out of here with that. No, I agree with that, though. Put them in the bags, and if they take them out, a lot of the teachers, when we went in for Digger's school night, they told us straight up, they get one warning, and they know about it at the beginning of class, at the beginning of the year. And if they break that warning, the teacher takes the phone and it sits in her desk until the end of that period. At the end of that period, you can have your phone back. And I don't know why that rule, that's a fine rule. You take the phone, you keep it in your desk, and at the end of the class, you give it back to the kid, and away you go. That way, if there's an accident, she could go, Johnny, Lisa, Mary, who, ha, he, who, you know.
Yep.
You got it would be easy.
And I'm good with that. I'm fine with that. That's fine. If they want to have the kids, and if the kids break the rule, it's a harsh penalty.
Yeah.
And then it's up to the parents to punish, shut service off, or whatnot.
Right, exactly.
So, you know, but saying that they're going to outlaw them, I like it. I know you don't.
I know.
But they know that it's going to be tough to enforce because teachers don't want to enforce anything anymore. And the teachers that have wanted to enforce haven't been allowed because of parents or school districts that are too lenient, and they don't want anyone telling their kid what to do. So that's invaded and disrupted how schools can administer discipline. So
we don't even know if these laws are going to take effect. Any law that really gets put into place could be taken away at any given time, could be canceled,
Sure.
could be stopped. I mean, nothing that any rule that is made right now it really means anything because anybody can change it anytime they want.
Yeah, overturn it, appeal it.
Right.
One more, Governor Gavin Newsom today issued a proposed emergency regulation to protect the kids. He really wants to protect the kids from the adverse health effects of dangerous hemp products. It says
this guy right here, this was the worst thing he's ever done right here.
What he wants to do is stop peddling intoxicating hemp products to California, and the new regulations require the industrial hemp food, beverage, dietary products intended for human consumption that have no detectable THC or other intoxicating cannabinoids per serving, blah, blah,
That's your
blah.
CBDs, dude. That's the stuff that I use. That's the stuff that we use for pain relief, anti-anxiety. That's the good of the pot without having to get stoned on it.
But here's
He
the thing.
killed that today.
Just the other day, though, you disagreed with kids being able to buy non-alcoholic beer.
Let me ask you something. There is absolutely no way a kid can get into a medical marijuana shop or a marijuana shop. They can't go in there. There's no way you can get a delivery to a kid from a medical dispensary from one of the weed maps folks. So this is stupid. This isn't like you could go and possibly they won't sell it. I don't know anybody, any shop, anywhere that would sell that to a child.
Yeah, but
Ever.
This goes in line with non-alcoholic drinks that look like or mocktail drinks that look like alcohol. It
Sure,
goes
but
along
those
with
are in
flavor.
grocery stores. You're not going to a grocery store and getting this stuff.
Flavored tobacco, same thing. They got rid of all the flavored tobacco products.
Which
it's
is
all
stupid.
in line with what they're doing, and it doesn't affect anyone 21 or older. So what's the big deal?
What do you mean?
I mean, what's the big deal if kids can't use it?
This thing goes into effect. It's illegal. It's not that it goes into effect for kids. The shops, the shops
It's 21 and older.
I think you better read it a little more clearly. They can't sell it in the shops. They can't sell the
Well, this is from the governor's office. I'll pick up here. It says cannabinoids per serving. Create a minimum age to purchase hemp products to 21 and limit the number of servings of hemp products to 5 per package. It goes on with the statement from the governor. This is from his main page. So you can still buy it. You just can't buy it under the age of 21.
You could never buy it under the age of 21.
But hold on. They were buying hemp products somehow. They were getting their hands on it. And the
Older
other thing,
brothers, parents that don't care. I don't know. No shop in this state would do that. Would sell it to any kid.
The other thing is the danger of, is it truly THC free if it's coming in from another country? There's a lot of little different things that they're doing. So I don't agree with this. I can just see the stupid reasoning of wanting to safeguard it. But you should be allowed to sell non-alcoholic beer to kids then.
No, absolutely
Which you disagreed
not.
with.
I don't think kids should have anything to do with any kind of this stuff unless they've got they're having their seizures. There's a few things that young kids have where medical CBD can help them. I don't know what all of them are. I know seizures are definitely one of them that it does help out with. Cancer, 100% helps out with cancer.
If it's doctor prescribed or anything like that, then they're going to get it.
Right, and that's how they would get it before. So what he has done here is just nothing. It's nothing. He has signed a nothing rule and law into a place that makes those of us that use these products have to pay more because we have to buy them in smaller amounts. So that's what I was going to tell you. Let's say you get a package of 40 CBD tablets.
Yeah.
And I take one of those each morning when I get up in place of a painkiller. And it's a 20 milligram CBD tablet. It's got 0.00 whatever it is THC, because everything's got to have a little THC if it's going to work for you. But not enough to get you stoned. You buy 40 of them at a certain price, and they were always economical. Under this law, I've got to buy 5, pay tax on 5.
I get it.
You know what I'm saying?
Keep going, because I'm going to set my headphones down. I have to walk over here and grab something that applies to this conversation that I want to show you on camera. I just found this the other day.
No problem, because I don't want to bitch about it, but I can do this for a second.
Just give me. I'm going to take 3 steps. I'm going to show you something.
Yeah, go get it. My ex-wife uses a CBD cream. A mimosa is what it's called, cream that she can rub on where she had her back fusion, which is I mean that has to be painful. So she can alleviate taking painkillers. This is just all this does is screw adults, man, and it just makes no sense.
I lied to you. I can't show you what I wanted to show you because I threw it away.
What?
But it's something that you gave me, and it was that CBD cream that you swore by that does not work.
Come on, man. It does work.
It did nothing. So the fact that you and others...
But your back pain is that nerve, isn't it? I mean, you've got that weird thing that goes on. I mean, I don't know if it's so much muscle as if it's kind of inside. This is like for people that have the injuries that I would have and things of that nature. I mean, my ex-wife's got a fusion. There's no way it makes your bones and the metal in your bones feel better. But I guess cut through the skin. I don't know, what it does, but it helps.
The only thing I found that works for topical is Salonpas. Salonpas works. And you put that on, and it does give relief, and it messes with your nerves enough because it tingles to kind of distract you a little bit, and it does get you a little bit mobile. And yeah, I've got sciatic issues, but I haven't really messed with that in too long. Every now and again, my back will get tight.
That CBD I got you though, dog, it didn't have any THC in it. Remember?
Did nothing. It did nothing.
It's got to have a small amount of THC. So it works in conjunction. Not enough to get you stoned, but I didn't want you to have any THC in it. So the one I got you was completely THC free.
So is it safe to say, though, that some of this THC or CBD-based stuff is either missing the component that helps, or there's a little bit of a placebo effect going on for the believers?
If it's 100% CBD with 0 THC in it, it will not do anything to you. That is 100% placebo. Take it from somebody that will not lie to you. I won't. I have no reason to. I don't use pot to get stoned anymore, and we all know that. I'm being honest. 100% CBD without any THC whatsoever doesn't work. It don't
Hold on,
work.
though. So what you gave me had nothing in it.
Right. It just had CBD in it.
Then how come you were blown away when I told you it didn't work? And then you automatically went to, yeah, but your back was messed up more. And you said, come on.
I was hoping the placebo effect may help out a little bit on you. I told you, I didn't want any THC in anything that I was giving you. I don't, that would be all kinds of effed up to do that. Again,
placebos don't, I don't know. Could a placebo work on me? Maybe if someone gave me a really good bullshit story and they sold it and I was in like a lot of pain or trauma and they gave me the whole rollout and I'm like, okay, I'll take this wonder drug. Maybe it might do something, but typically, no.
My dad
sugar
is much
tablet's
like
a sugar
you.
Tablet.
And I wanted him to take some too for his glaucoma. And dog knows about this, but he got so damn irritated with me on the phone. And when I was talking to him about it, he goes like this, I will lose my eyesight before I put that stuff in my lungs, I'll lose I said, Dad, I'm not telling you to smoke a joint or something, man. I was going to give you a tablet to take that doesn't have anything in it, I will lose my eyesight, he said to me. He yelled it. He was so disturbed.
I think I would too.
Yeah, I know
don't
you
like
would.
it.
I know
Yeah.
you would. I know you would.
We are running out of time. Let's get to this quickly because Joe's had people knocking on his door.
Oh,
And
good. Thank you.
I want to make sure we have time for this. And Joe does have a no soliciting sign, which is always, it's weird. You go to Joe's house because I would think Joe, of all people, would love unexpected knocks on his door from random strangers so they could just talk about whatever's going on. But Joe says that now the solicitors are bothering him and he doesn't like it.
Yeah. Well, addendum to my loving to talk to people rule. When a solicitor comes now, no matter how good the product is, no matter how great their sales pitch is, whether I need it, whether I don't need it, I can't take it because I can't add on any new incomes. And with each solicitation, I've got to look a person in the face and tell them I was fine. I mean, I got to basically say with each solicitation, I'm the butthole on this street, and I'm stinky right now. Stay away from me. I'm useless. I have no use in this world.
You're an
at the
ashtray
moment.
pilferer.
Yeah, I'm an ashtray pilferer.
Yeah.
And then they all look at you then you get they feel sorry for you look, and then it makes me feel even worse. 9 times out of 10, they know who I am, and then they say, oh, I know. I'm so sorry. How are you and dog doing? And I'm just like, son of a bitch, this has backfired into so many multiple bad things. Don't come and try and sell me nothing no more, man. Please, for 3 months.
So what about this, though? Maybe you should put a sign up that says jobless or unemployed. Because if they're selling stuff, then they're not going to bother you. They're going to know you don't have money. But if they just want to spread the word of the good man, or they just want to talk, then they could still knock. So I think you need to put jobless on that.
Solicitation sign up there. They don't pay attention to that. I don't think that works, to be honest with you, because I've pointed at it before. I said, you see that over there? And this is what the kid said to me. Uh-huh. I go, you see that sign? He goes, uh-huh.
Yeah, I see the sign. Now, I need you to start selling, not encyclopedias. Maybe you should sell dictionaries because you don't know what soliciting means. Okay, so what you're going to do tonight when you get home is you're going to open up a dictionary. You're going to tell me what that goddamn means, but you're not going to come back tomorrow and tell me what it means. You're going to go home tonight. You're going to learn the definition, and I'm never going to see your face again.
It makes me feel bad. It's embarrassing.
Jump on with comments. I want to talk about this. This is kind of funny. Joe and I talked about it before we went on. What are other signs that people ignore? What are other signs that people ignore? And I ask this, does trespassing or no trespassing still mean anything? Do people ignore it?
I've always heard, of course, growing up in Indiana, it was a bit different than it would have maybe been here in California. But I've always heard no trespassing. You could be shot.
Well, when we were kids, it used to say no trespassing. Then it went to trespassers will be shot. Then as we got older, it went to trespassers will be shot dead.
Yeah.
And
I've always heard, I don't know if the rules were different, but if they were on your land and you didn't want them to be, the second their foot hit your ground, you could blow holes in them.
Well, if you had posted signage, and again, you have to prove that they saw the signage and that the signage was, well lit and blah, 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 blah. But here's the thing with no trespassing. Like if I see it, I'm not going to say that you would, but like on a store door, I'm just going to blow right in. I'm going to ignore it. But if I'm out in an orchard, like
on a store door?
Yeah, I'm just saying, like if it was like, there's a Supercuts and I'm going to go in and get a haircut. Not that I do that anymore. But if there was like a no trespassing sign on there, I would think this idiot like forgot to put the we're closed for lunch sign on. This is no trust
sign.
Yeah, this is the wrong sign. I'm still going to go in. Okay. But if I'm out in an orchard, if I'm cruising around a riverbed, or if I'm in a cherry orchard, or if I'm out somewhere that doesn't look like, say, a Supercuts, I am going to take that no trespassing sign to heart, and I will take not one step further past that sign, because I will believe that the people will, if they find me trespassing, shoot or do something.
I wouldn't set foot on anyone's land, especially if you're out up in the hills or what. If you see no trespassing and you go on there, you're asking for it, man.
See, and that's the thing. Is the sign tattered? Is it small? Is there some beer bottles around? Is it by a canal bank? Does it look like a place of gathering for party? You kind of have to size it up. You know, like if I see a bunch of razor wire and 16-foot cyclone and spotlights, you know, I see a turret with night lights, you know, flashing around every 15 minutes, and I see a sign that says no trespassing on that fence, I'm not going to climb the goddamn fence to see what's on the other side. I'm good to know, let's let it alone and keep on trucking.
If I see a fence that's in the dark, it's only got 3 levels of barbed wire, and the fence posts are a bit crooked and the weeds have grown up by it. Maybe it looks like the cattle hasn't been in the pasture for a little while. And the no trespassing, yeah, no way in hell, dude. How I grew up, you don't ever do that.
What about this one? Does anyone really exercise their right to refuse service to anyone? Has there been anyone out there? Because we've all seen these signs.
You love this sign.
I do. You see it in restaurants, delis, barbershops. You see it in bars. You've seen this sign for years and years and years, and I've always wanted someone to stand up and say, hey, I'm not going to give you a sandwich. We're not cutting your hair. You're not getting another drink. Read that sign because I refuse to serve you based on whatever. I've seen the sign, and I'd have to imagine people have exercised that right, but I have never heard it constituted.
I haven't seen it done myself in person either, you know, and I wonder kind of what it takes for that to be initiated. Are you being a butthole before you get in to the establishment? You know, are you causing trouble in line? You know, what causes that to be enacted?
I wish we had calls right now. You could jump on with comments. Here's another one. My neighborhood's full of these. Please keep your pet off grass signs. They're little signs.
Sure.
And like the corner houses, they have a couple of them. But here's the thing. Next to every one of those, please keep your pet off grass signs, there's K9 number 2 piled up right by it.
That's so terrible. They don't even pick it up.
Yeah, and I'm
that is so rude, dude.
And these are nice yards. They're kept. They're edged. They're very nice. You know, these people pay, you know, landscapers. And I'm looking at this. I'm like, really? And lots of people here, they walk their dogs. And these signs.
Same in my neighborhood, too, yeah.
There's a ton of them. There's like, you know, I'd say 25, 30% of the houses have some type of keep dog off lawn. And everywhere you walk and see one of these signs, you see the K9 too. So
it's terrible.
People ignore that sign. And this is another one that just came to me. And I think ever since they were invented, no one has adhered to the rule. 10 items or less.
Oh, at the grocery stores.
Yeah. Have you ever really seen someone go in there with 9 items, 5 items? It's like that goddamn kid that can't read, that doesn't know the definition of soliciting. He goes in there with 15, 16. Someone else walks by. They're like, I got 12. Next thing you know, it's a full-service, regular basket checkout line. It's 4 speedy people that have a few things. Nobody has ever adhered to that rule, and it's even on the plastic box that illuminates 10 items or less. Yeah. You see people go in there with 3 family members pushing in flatbed carts from Costco, and they're inside Rayleigh's.
I don't see people doing that much, but I see people clearly over the 15 item or less rule. I've never seen anyone get turned away.
No, because there's no one out there. There's no 10 item or less cop. There's no one's going to say anything. They show up and the cashier, because no one wants to confront anyone. Just like teachers don't want to confront children with cell phones. People don't want to say, excuse me, ma'am, you have 11 items. Because what's ma'am going to say? What's one more? Well, that's one more goddamn minute that can turn into 10 more, that can turn into 30. Next thing you know, the line's out the door. No one wants to muscle up and adhere to a rule. The people that enforce them and the people that should adhere to them. No one wants to follow the rules anymore. So it's all about weakness. It's people just their backbones and spines have deteriorated. I don't know if it's osteoporosis. I don't know if it's that mesh.
That'll do it.
You know, that hernia mesh that caused all this. I don't know if it's that bent carrot. Something's happened though.
With a bump.
Yeah, people have degenerative spine disease. So, we got to keep this.
Let me just tell you this real quick, real fast, and you can answer in comments too. Would you, if you was a young person, that's usually who does it, would you knock on a door that said no soliciting?
Are you asking me?
Yeah, and we're in our 20s, you know, maybe late teens or early. It's a first job. We're probably in college. You know, they're young kids that are doing it. And they don't mean harm, but would you do it?
Here's why. Okay, Joe knows this about me. I can become a pitchman, and I like to sell things. There's some excitement to it. Yes, I would, and here's what I would do. And I guarantee, if you're any type of organization that does door to door or phone or whatever, you've been instructed, if your boss is good, I would think. I've never done door to door, but I would think you've been taught to knock on a door with no soliciting. And here's what you do. Oh, my apologies. I'm so sorry. I didn't see that sign. I was so overwhelmed with all the orders I've taken in the neighborhood from this amazing new product that's so cheap. I didn't even realize I was counting all the money I've made. And I'm not here to hustle you. I'm just telling you. That's how I would shift it and spin it. I would use it to my advantage, but I'd make sure I had a good pitch, because
man, I would not.
I would like to. Here's the thing. I just want to see if you could do it. You know, it's kind of like, you know, you knock the door and you run down the street. Can you get away? There's part of that thrill, but I would also like to see if I could crack the no solicitor into being a, yes, please solicit my house. So I would try it. And here's what else I ask you, Joe. If you see a no soliciting sign on Halloween night, do you knock or keep walking?
That's different. That's different.
Why?
Is there decorations and the light on? Because you don't knock on a house that doesn't have the light on anyway. But you're not soliciting on Halloween. It's a taken note. I'm not showing up there and telling you I just started my own pest control business because I'm tired of all the other pest control businesses in the neighborhood, and I'm going to do you $50 cheaper, and I'm going to get all the bugs out of your yard. You know, that's a nonsense thing to tell someone.
No, you just want free candy. So basically you want to loiter and panhandle and solicit at the same time.
I'm giving you a choice. Trick or treat. You can trick me. You can give me a treat. I've given you a choice. I'm not soliciting. You don't have to give me a treat. If I show up and you'd like to trick me or do something fun or something like that, I also have to accept that.
You've still solicited. For the trick or the treat, that was a solicitation. You still asked and bothered the person. See, to me, no solicitation means don't you ever fucking knock on my door. Don't you look at it. Don't come up. I don't care if you're in costume. I don't care if it's Halloween. I don't care if you're caroling. I don't care if you're there to spread the good Lord's message. I don't care if you're going to hand me one of those pamphlets that says our daily bread. I don't care if you got your mountain bike out there and you and your buddy have matching black slacks. Don't knock on my door. If it says no soliciting, that means each and every breathing human being on the planet, whether it's Halloween or not. That's what it means to me.
Well, don't mean that to these kids these days. They don't care two fat craps about it. They honestly don't. They could care less. One time, a kid came and got kind of crappy. He showed up at 9 on a Saturday night, and I have my garage door open. I'm always out wrenching on the motorcycles and screwing around and doing whatever in the garage. So I'm always out there. The lights are always on. But he showed up at 9 at night. And I I pointed over to the sign. That was the kid I did it to. I pointed to the sign. I said, you see that sign? He said, uh-huh. Yeah. I go, it's 9 o'clock at night, man. You don't think it's a little late to be going around asking folks on the door? And this is what he said to me. This is what he goes, no.
See?
And it's almost as if he wanted me to shoot him in the face.
No, he was sad that it was 9 o'clock on a Saturday night and a guy like you wasn't dating. You weren't in the house boating. You were at home in your garage. He felt bad for you. He was simply going to see if everything was okay because he couldn't believe a guy that's as old as you, yet relatively young, was stuck in his garage on a Saturday night when they're single without a broad. That's what he was doing.
Well, earmuffs him then. You know what I mean? I mean, I've played darts in there. I don't look like a stranded scoundrel. I got music playing. I'm having some beverages, you know. I mean, it looks like my garage is cool, dude. It's got some flags hanging down, pirate flags.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Well, on that note, we'll stop. Back tomorrow. We will do full service. It'll be a longer one.
We gotta go.
We've got to really hurry up here, but we appreciate it. Thank you so much. Like and share. And back tomorrow and Friday, we'll give you full pulls of the Dogface and Joe Mommy podcast.
Okay, we do have to be quick today. Thank you again very much for hanging out. We really do appreciate it. And thank you so much for your time. We'll talk to you tomorrow, man. Play nice.